Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over my Japanese study routine. Ever since the beginning of lockdown, I started to take my studies a lot more serious, so I formed a consistent routine to help me stay on track. I'll be covering a lot of useful resources and just some tips for when your motivation gets low. I hope that this video can be of help to some people, but a quick shout out to Maddie S for the video inspiration. But without further ado, let us begin. Starting out, I like to approach each day with a study plan, highlighting what I want to focus on for that day. After clearing my workspace and making my plan for the day, it's time to study. My work routine consists of the same things every day, but sometimes I'll dedicate extra time to things that I really don't understand. I normally focus on 4 main things when studying. 1 is Anki Revisions, 2 is Kanji Study, 3 is Grammar, and 4 is Immersion. I always start off with my Anki revisions. Anki literally translates to memorize in Japanese. It's an extremely useful software recommended by bigger channels such as Abroad in Japan and Matt vs Japan. Anki uses an SRS, which means Spaced Repetition System, to aid memorization, and it plays a huge part in my studies, helping me maintain the information that I learn. Anki will show you information each day in the form of flashcards, and depending on how hard you find it, you can click on each option to tell the software when to show you that same card again. Currently I'm working on 2 decks every day to focus on kanji radicals and general vocabulary. I use Anki as soon as I start studying, but also 30 minutes before bed because it helps maintain the information if you review it before you sleep. Now, kanji is always the most intimidating part about learning Japanese because it's scary approaching 2200 characters with multiple readings and meanings, expecting to learn them all. The key to studying kanji is based on the Heising method, which teaches you how each kanji has its own mnemonic and story behind it, helping you remember it in a fun and easy way. Right now I'm only focusing on 8 kanji a day. I do want to do more, but my current focus is grammar, so I'm dedicating a lot more time to that. I study kanji right after my Anki revisions and review them later on in the day. For reviewing kanji, I use Kanji Koohii. It works well in sync with the Remembering the Kanji book, and it has a pretty easy to use interface, and it's pretty similar to Anki, without worrying about making your own decks or the correct book order, because the website does all that for you. It just tells you what kanji you're working on, it tells you when to review, how easy you found it, etc. Grammar is pretty much my main focus for now. There's so much to learn, but I found a really easy and effective method for grammar study. My primary resource would be a YouTube playlist made by Misa's Japanese Ammo. I'll link it in the description below. It includes a ton of videos explaining all the basic Japanese grammar in a fun and easy way to understand, making it the ideal resource for me at least. To supplement this, I also use Tae Kim's grammar guide at guidetojapanese.com. He also has a YouTube channel. I'll be linking both of these in the description below, but to anyone doing grammar, I highly recommend both of these if you haven't used them already. Before moving on to Immersion, I try to practice reading each day. I don't read too much, just 1 chapter of whatever manga I'm reading at the time, but right now it's Yotsuba. It's simple and easy to understand and it has a nice story to it, but you can read anything you find interesting. I try to keep the PDFs available so I can easily access it on my phone and I can read wherever I am, just so I'm not tied to my computer all day. Immersion plays a huge part in overall studies. The YouTuber known as Matt vs Japan has an entire Japanese learning method revolving around it. Him and someone called Yoga call it the mass immersion approach, but I think my studies are too beginner to kind of be focusing on that right now, but I do want to attempt it in future. For immersion, I like to focus on 3 main methods. The first will be watching an anime that I have interest in or maybe I've seen it before, so I can watch it again with Japanese subtitles. Even if I can understand maybe 5 to 10% of it, it really does help, because while I'm watching it, I'm going to be studying some of the words that I don't understand, taking notes, and looking them up as I'm watching. So the website I use for this is Animelon, and I haven't found a website similar to this, so I pretty much recommend it. It allows customizable subtitles, letting you choose from regular Japanese to hiragana, katakana. Whatever you prefer is on screen. You can even select English and show multiple at the same time. But another thing about this website is the fact that you can pause and click on any word for like a direct translation. The website also offers a built-in UI which has the transcript to the episode you're watching, so you can always just pause and read through it if you didn't hear something correctly. So it's also listening practice in a way too. Another method of immersion I use is revisiting my favorite childhood game, but with the Japanese edition. The Pokemon games are really easy to understand, and they use simple vocabulary because they're kind of aimed at children. It's a lot of hiragana and katakana. I don't think they use any kanji in this one, but it does allow for more reading practice while I'm playing. I only recently started, but the nostalgia gives me so much motivation to keep going because I really love this game. Sometimes it takes a lot longer to read the cutscenes, but honestly it helps and I'm enjoying myself, so it's not a race. I think as long as I'm enjoying myself, that's what counts. I'm not sure if the final method I use can count as immersion, but it's still useful either way, so I'm going to include it. I use HelloTalk to talk to Japanese natives and language exchange with them. It normally lasts for about 15 minutes in each language, or a mix of both depending on who you're talking to. But I think it's a great way to connect with people looking for a language partner. I also use a website called HiNative, and this helps me a lot when I get stuck on meanings and words that I just don't understand. It's as simple as typing out a question to the native and having them answer it for you. It's as simple as how do you say goodnight in Japanese. So another feature I really like about HiNative is the does this sound natural section, where you can write in a sentence and ask native speakers if it sounds natural, and they can read it and correct it for you depending on like how it sounds to them. And it's a very useful way to correct yourself if you don't have a teacher. But speaking of teachers, italki. You've probably come across this website, and I can hands down say it helps so much because it offers a very affordable and focused approach to teaching you Japanese. You have so much choice over what you want to find in a teacher, and you can filter it to the specifics. So whether you're studying for the JLPT language exam or you want to practice everyday conversation, italki has what you need at a very reasonable price. I promise you I'm not sponsored, but this website has helped me a lot, so I can't not include it here. But if you do end up signing up, my referral code's available, so you get an extra $10 when you buy 20. So in a way, you're kind of getting your third lesson for free if you do want to use the service. So let's talk about burnout and demotivation. When I burn out, I like to just zone out and play some osu, because in a way it's still immersion because I'm listening to Japanese music. But the biggest question any language learner has is, what can I do when I'm burned out or lacking motivation? Well, it's pretty simple. You take a step back. It's only natural to feel mentally exhausted when you put a lot of time into something. But one piece of advice that really clicked with me is, motivation alone won't get you anywhere. It comes in bursts, and relying on it is like inconsistent. Use the burst of motivation to build discipline, and use that discipline to build a habit. And once the habit is in place, you're good to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not a race. Take all the time you need, but do not neglect your studies too much. Ganbatte ne. So my next video is a 30-day record yourself challenge based on Japanese. Every day I get a new topic, and I think I'm going to upload it weekly rather than every day because it'll be nice to put into 4 videos. But it's set by Fingtam Langs, and it's recently been more popular than it was before, so yeah, I've been giving that a shot and having a lot of fun with it, so it'll be kind of nice to show you guys what I've been working on. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, and thank you for making it to the end if you did. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like and comment below what you thought. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night or day wherever you're from, and I'll see you guys in the next one.